Hello everyone, good morning or good afternoon as per your respective time zones. On behalf of entire Mastek Managed Services team, we would like to welcome you all to 24B Procurement and Advanced Procurement Advisory Webinar session. This important session is to keep you fully synchronized with new features and functionalities as a part of this quarterly release which Oracle provides. My name is Sohail Malik and I'm an Oracle Functional Consultant at Mastek Managed Services team. Today, I'm your host for this session, and I'm glad to introduce my colleague, Shriji Shukla, who is part of our vast supply chain team at Mastek. Today, he will take us through all the procurement and advanced procurement updates for 24B quarterly release. Today's session is planned for around 45 to 60 minutes, and we'll also make sure that we also leave some time to answer all the questions you may have. We also have panelists available, Pooja Vyas, so you can ask any question through chat or question panel. Before we move to the agenda, let's have a quick look at the important disclaimer. We would like to convey you our approach towards the Oracle updates in a very simpler method. We'll be taking you through vital analysis of 24B updates done by our experts, which will help you incorporating new features and updates easily into the system. Also, we'll sync you on any bugs or known issues if there are any. It's good to have an interactive session, so please do ask questions through chat or question panel. We'll answer them at the end of the session, and in case if we run out of time, we'll make sure to respond you back by connecting you at a later stage to answer all your questions. This is to give you a glimpse of how we have crafted the structure of this session. A list of new features coming to 24B, detailing on features so you get brief understanding on what new features are all about. Next one is what are the business benefits and the important takeaway for you as a decision maker. There are four components where we have done in-depth analysis for features which we are going to present to you. First one is impact table analysis, which demonstrate the impact on the end user. If it's low impact, then regression testing can be avoided. If it's high, then we need to opt for regression testing. Second one is which we are all aware that there are some features which are by default auto-enabled by Oracle and there are some which we need to opt for. Third one highlights the nature of the feature. There would be certain configuration which may be required or some can be used without any changes. Last one is a quick win. This term we use to simply convey that what is ready to use by investing minimum amount of time and what requires significant amount of time and effort to make use of this feature. Hi Shriji, I'll be handing over to you now. Please unmute yourself and begin the session.
Hello, thank you so well for the introduction. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sriji, and I will take you through all the new features which are introduced as part of Oracle 24B upgrade. So let us begin by discussing the latest features. So in total, we had close to 42 features which is spanning across procurement, advanced procurement, and responsive UI application. So in all, we have 13 features which are opted, and then we have 29 features which are available by default. So let me move to the first feature, which is use redesign pages to view supply request. Now the first feature is a part of supply chain orchestration process. So with the help of this feature, you can now use redesign pages to view supply request and their details on your desktop or mobile device. Supply request, reference, supply order, supply document can be used to search for your supplier request. You can further filter your search results using supply requested date, requested delivery date, supply status, supply type, and the business flow. With the help of this feature, You can create and save your own searches, view details about your supplier documents, view recommended actions for supply request and exception, and view details on supply documents, and do various actions for supply request. So what is the business benefit of this feature? It will help you in improving your efficiency when you search for any specific supply request. The impact level of this feature is low. We do need to enable this feature. No particular configuration is required for this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. Moving on to the next feature, which is streamline your B2B setup for Avalara and Tag Connected service providers. So this feature is a part of our collaboration messaging service, which Oracle provides. And with this 24B release, they have streamlined the procurement process for Avalara and Tag Connected service providers. So for example, if you're using Avalara and Tag Connected as your service providers, you can streamline your B2B setup, and you can use this service providers to enhance your communication with the suppliers. So what is the business benefit of this process? You can configure the new configure the new service providers. You can associate your trading partner relationship with the suppliers, and you can also select the documents which you wish to exchange using these service providers. The impact level of this feature is medium. There is no need to enable this feature. We will require a minor configuration for using this feature. Is it a quick win? No. The second feature from the collaboration messaging work area is transmit a purchase order as a PDF file. So users who are used to using collaboration messaging framework, they know that the PO gets communicated to the suppliers in the form of a PDF file. But with this upgrade, if your PO is the only attachment on the order, then it will be communicated as an uncompressed PDF file. And suppose if you have multiple attachments associated with the PDF file, you can send them as a zip file. So this feature is particularly useful for smaller suppliers who don't have like automated systems for the PO that they receive. The impact level of this feature is low. There is no need to enable this feature. We will require minor configuration to use this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. So again, if we want to use this feature, we will select manage collaboration service providers. We will select manage B2B trading partners, and under delivery methods tab, as you can see, we will enable this checkbox, which is transmit the PO PDF as an unzipped file when it's the only attachment. So once you do that, all your purchase order communications will be transferred as a unzipped compressed file using this collaboration messaging framework functionality. The next feature that we have here is from our common procurement module, which is integrate and extend procurement using REST resources. So with each and every update, Oracle keeps on adding and increasing their gamut of REST resources. Similarly, with this update, Oracle has introduced new REST resources, which are purchase agreement lines, purchase agreement import request, purchasing document import errors, and special handling types. So previously available, there were few REST resources which were previously available and have been updated, such as requisition lifecycle and purchase requisition. So what it does is it simplifies your integration with your external systems, and you can always update the necessary attributes using the REST resources provided by the Oracle. The impact level of this feature is low. There is no need for us to enable this feature. No particular configuration is required for this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. Then we have generate reports on compliance checklist using OTBI. So procurement checklist as a functionality was introduced by Oracle as part of its 24A upgrade. Moving on to 24B, Oracle has added few functionalities. So for example, if you are a user who actively uses procurement checklist, then you can also generate, with the help of 24B upgrade, you can now generate OTBI reports as well. So what you can do is you can generate OTBI report based on your checklist title, checklist number, checklist status, checklist owner, and these attributes can be found under the following subject areas like purchasing real time, purchasing agreement real time, pending change orders real time, implemented change orders real time. The impact level of this feature is low. There is no need to enable this feature. No configuration is required for this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. So what is the derived business benefit from this? It will help you in generating quick report, which are associated with your procurement compliance checklist. So again, these are the attributes. As you can see, these are available. Once selected, you can generate the quick report. Then we have view compliance checklist using a deep link. So as a procurement agent, you will now have the option to configure deep links to view your compliance checklist. And you can do that by using Oracle Analytics Publisher for external applications. So again, what is the business benefit for using this feature? It will provide you an easy access through enter to view your checklist using the deep links. The impact level of this feature is low. There is no need for us to enable this feature. No configuration is required for this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. Moving on to the next feature, which is create compliance checklist with pre-populated values for procurement view and owner. So whenever you create your compliance checklist, by default, you are assigned as the owner. And if you're managing the checklist for a single procurement view, that particular view will be defaulted as your procurement checklist view. But in case you're using multiple procurement views, then the view defined under default procurement business unit profile option will get defaulted. So to take advantage of this feature, you must use its parent feature, which is create compliance checklist for purchasing documents. Again, this parent feature was introduced as part of 24A upgrade. So if you have opted in this feature, if you have opted in for this feature, then this particular feature is available by default. So what is the business benefit of using this feature? It saves time as the values gets pre-populated while creating a new compliance checklist. So moving on to the impact analysis, the impact level is low. There is no need for us to enable this feature. No configuration is required for this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. Now moving on to the next module, which is the new responsive UI module. So is Oracle is adding new features with its each and every upgrade. So as we are aware that the responsive UI application will be replacing the classic UI application from 25A, and Oracle with each upgrade is adding new features to its new application for its new application. So the first feature here is secure catalog content by internal deliver to locations for shopping. So you must be aware that when we create any requisitions, or if you want to provide any access for the user to any particular procurement view or any requisitioning view, we use content zones. And under content zones, we have an option of security, from where we can govern which are the relevant users who will have access to the locations or the relevant requisitions or the relevant procurement views. But with this upgrade, Oracle has added one more security, which is secured by deliver to location. So what is the business benefit of this? It will give you more flexibility. It will save your time and effort, uh, and it will give you an extra option to enhance your security while creating the requisition. The impact level of this feature is medium. There is no need to enable this feature. No configuration is required for this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. Moving on to the next feature, which is create multiple distributions on requisitions. Again, this is the functionality which was previously available in the classic UI application, but with the new responsive UI application, this is a major miss that the users observed. But with the 24B upgrade, users specifically using projects, and if they want to allocate cost to different cost centers, they can use the split distribution functionality. And by using this functionality, they can divide their or they can split their requisition distribution into multiple levels. So the impact level of this feature is high. There is no need to enable this feature. No particular configuration is required for this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. Moving on to the next feature, which is view requisition lifecycle information. Again, this was a major feature which was available in the classic UI application. So whenever your requisition gets approved or an invoice, or it gets converted into an order, and whenever you receive an invoice, the entire details were available in the old application, but the same feature or the same functionality that was not available in the new application. But with this 24B upgrade, what Oracle has done, that they have rectified that gap, and they have introduced this feature where you can now go and view all the associated activities. You can view the entire life cycle information and all the associated activities for your requisition. So what is the business benefit of this? It will give you a visual representation of the transactions which are associated with your requisition. The impact level of this feature is high. There is no need for us to enable this feature. No particular configuration is required for this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. Moving on to the next feature, which is procure goods from preferred sources during catalog shopping. So there might be cases where you want to only procure goods and services from particular potential sources. So determined if you have ranked your BPA, if you have defined the rank in your blanket purchase agreement, then whenever you search for a specific agreement or any specific supplier, the associated item will automatically get defaulted as a preference. So using this feature, you can select appropriate source. You can select appropriate source based on your requirements. Moving on to the impact analysis, the impact level of this feature is low. We do need to enable this feature. This is not available as a default functionality like the previous features. If you have enabled the responsive UI application, you could observe that with the 24B upgrade, those features will get automatically defaulted. But for using this particular feature, you will have to use the opt-in. Again, no configuration is required for this. Is it a quick win? Yes. So as you can see, we had a preferred blanket purchase agreement over here, and using that we have created, using this agreement we have added the requisition onto the cart. Moving on to the next feature, which is view requisition document history. Again, this is the functionality which was available in the old application or in the old classic UI application, where you could go and see the entire document history which is associated with your requisition. But but this functionality was missing from the new responsive UI application. So with the 24B upgrade, you will be able to see the document history associated with your requisition. So as you can see, you will have to select, you will have to click on the view document history tab, and again a separate page will get open where you can see the submission time for the requisition, the submission of the PO, and the entire associated details uh, which are associated with your requisition and orders. So the impact level of this feature is medium. There is no need for us to enable this feature. No particular configuration is required for this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. Moving on to the next feature, which is preview requisition approvers during shopping checkout. So as a requisitioner, it's important that I know that my requisition is getting submitted and it is following the correct approval hierarchy. But again, that functionality was missing in the new responsive UI application. But with this 24B upgrade, what Oracle is doing is it is giving you that added assistance or added functionality where you can always check the entire approval hierarchy. You can check the approvers on the requisition, and you can check whether your requisitions are getting routed to the appropriate users or not. So again, the impact, coming to the impact analysis, the impact level of this feature is medium. There is no need for us to enable this feature. No particular configuration is required for using this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. Moving on to the next feature, which is assign additional supplier contact emails for catalog item based requisition. So often is the case where we might create new requisitions, and but the contact details are obsolete, or either you might want to add some additional contacts in order to ensure that your requisition are getting communicated to the right resources from the supplier's end. So with the 24B upgrade, while creating the requisitions, you can always specify an additional contact, and that functionality was also available in the previous feature, but Oracle has just extended it to 24B for all the catalog based requisitions, or for all the requisitions which are created using the BPA lines, or your agreement line. So the impact analysis for this feature is the impact level will be low. There is no need for us to enable this feature. No particular configuration is required for using this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. Moving on to the next feature, which is refine requisition using search filters. So you can now use these following attributes like requisitioning BU, creation date, submission date, action required, requisition statuses, supplier, category, and delivered to location. So if you are using these attributes, and if you are creating a new requisitions, Oracle will always, the new application will always consider and give you the results based on these particular filters. So what is the business benefit of using this feature? It will help you in narrowing down your results based on your requirements. So coming on to the impact analysis, the impact level for this feature is medium. we do need to opt in for use we do need to opt in for using this feature. No configuration is required for this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. Moving on to the next feature, which is change description for agreement based items during shopping. So now you can always change the description of a particular catalog item while creating the requisition. So for example, if you're using a particular reference document in your while creating the requisition, then you can override that description on the BPL line. And if the requester feels that an additional description or a more accurate or better description is required, you can always enter you can always enter the description over there and submit your requisition. So this is the functionality which Oracle has provided with its new upgrade. Coming on to the impact analysis, the impact level for this feature is medium. There is no need for us to enable this feature. No particular configuration is required for using this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. Moving on to the next features. So the coming few slides will cover the feature from the purchasing module. So far we have covered the features associated with the common procurement checklist and the new responsive UI application. The following few slides will cover the features associated with your purchasing module. So the feature that we have here is search and select items and their associated trading partner item references while creating blanket purchase agreement. So for example, when item has multiple manufacturers or multiple manufacturer part numbers, so you can select the combination of values that you want users to return to an agreement line. So let me give an example. So for example, as you can see here, uh, we have we have an item specified. We have the supplier name, supplier item number, manufacturer, and manufacturer part number. So if we want to use the same information onto our BPA line, we can search for it, and we can use the same information. uh, we can add the same information under item attributes while creating the agreement. So if you want so moving on to the impact analysis, the impact level of this feature is low. This is an opt-in feature. A minor configuration will be required for using this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. Moving on to the next feature, which is create master items with trading partner item associations from the blanket purchase agreement import. So before this update, using Purchasing Cloud, you could create items within the product information management system from your imported BPL lines. But with this upgrade, you will be able to create that you will be able to define and create the trading partner item associations as well. So for example, you can define the supplier items and manufacturer part numbers. So what is the value that has been added over here? So it will provide you the seamless integration between the purchasing module and the product information management module. It will help you in maintaining the PIM as a single source of truth for all your master items, trading partners, and their relationship. So moving on to the business benefit. So again, it will help you in creating your trading partner items and their relation and define their relationships with their master items. So the impact analysis for this is the impact level is low. We do need to opt in for using this feature. No configuration is required for using this feature. So is it a quick win? Yes. Moving on to the next feature, which is create requisition and purchase order as special handling. Again, this is a new functionality which Oracle has introduced with the 24b. So with the Oracle 24b upgrade, Oracle has added a new functionality within the RSSP. You can always create requisitions and purchase order requiring special handling by your suppliers. So we will have to create additional DFFs. We will have to create additional DFFs to capture the details. So moving on to the setup, we have one task which is manage special handling type task, and these are the attributes which are available over there, like special handling type, description, code, header context, line context, requiring buyer view, negotiated, automatically creating receipt, and enabled. uh, Once we define the setup from this particular task, which is manage special handling type task, we will deploy the DFFs, the context sensitives. We will define the context sensitive DFFs. We will define the segments such as physician name, date of service, reference number, just as an example. Now, once that setup is completed, I will go to this task. I will define the special handling type. So here the special handling type is bill only. I will go to my requisition page. I will click on create special handling request. Then I will have this section which is coming over here, like physician name, reference number, and date of service, which we have defined previously as the DFFs. And the same information that we have entered over here, that will get carried over to our purchase orders. Again, create bill only requisitions and purchase order. Now this feature is also related to the previous slide. If you want to create new requisitions, if you want to create only bill only requisitions, then we will define the bill only request. We will deploy the context sensitive segments, and once we do that, we will have this, or we will have our DFFs available over here, and we can create the special handling request of the type bill only. Moving on to the next slide, which is assign additional supplier contact emails to imported purchase order. Again, this is the functionality which was available previously, but it was not available as it was not available as an import process. So if you are importing any supplier contacts, with the help with the 24B upgrade, you will be able to define an additional contact email IDs, and once approved, those email IDs will also be reflected on your, those contact email IDs will also get reflected on your purchase order. So the business benefit of this feature is you can use this for specifying the additional contacts when you are importing the contacts through FBDI. So coming on to the impact analysis, the impact level of this feature is low. There is no need for us to enable this feature. No particular configuration is required for this feature. So is it a quick win? No. Coming on to the next feature, which is route purchase orders for approval based on any chart of account segments. Uh, with the help of with the 24B upgrade, Oracle will give you the functionality to define your approval rules based on your chart of account segment. So coming on to the next slide. So for example, in the BPM work list, we have defined the approval. We have defined the approval for the user CV buyer 03 and for the item 003. So for example, if we are entering any product segment which is equaling 000, that will get routed to this particular buyer, as you can see here. So what is the perceived business benefit for using this? So you can use the chart of account segments for creating an additional approval rules if required. They may be particularly useful if you want to ensure that your cost, or if you want to ensure that your project cost is getting allocated to a respective cost centers and approval routings. If you want to create the approval routings based on your cost centers. What is the impact level of this? Impact level is low. There is no need for us to enable this feature. We will require minor configuration for using this feature. So is it a quick win? No. Moving on to the next feature, which is update attributes on split order lines for partial drop shipments. So this feature is associated with the split order line functionality, which is available within the order management module. So if only partial quantity is available on the order line, then your dropship supplier might ship that quantity. Hence, using this feature, you can update attribute on split order line, which Oracle procurement ships out. So within procurement, you can reduce the quantity on the PO line. You can cancel the schedule on the PO line, update the promise ship date, split PO schedule into more than one schedule. Coming on to the impact analysis, the impact level of this feature is medium. We do need to opt in for using this feature. A minor configuration is required for using this feature. So is it a quick win? No. So those were all the updates which were available within the purchasing module. And we have one work fix as well, which is query by example to filter search results by project and task returns unpredictable results. So this is the Oracle reference bug number. So before this update, if we are using the query by example feature to filter out the orders or filter out the requisition, it used to give you the entire records, right, which is not the expected functionality, right? If you have entered any specific particular order or the requisition, you would want to use that particular order or requisition only, but the search result used to give all the orders, right? So with this functionality, if So Oracle has removed this bug fix, and so now if you are entering any requisition number or any purchase order number, you will be able to you will be able to see those orders and requisition only under the search results. Now, moving on to the next feature, which is search for purchase agreement using a Redwood page. So we have been observing this since the last few upgrades that Oracle has introduced its Redwood based theme or Redwood based interface uh, to its supply registration page, to the classic UI application. Now they're extending it to the new agreements page as well. So what this functionality gives, what is the additional benefit that this Redwood page gives is, it will always help you in providing the smart search capability. So for example, if you want to search any particular agreement number, then again, just like the new responsive UI application, uh, the search functionality will work similarly for your agreements as well. So coming on to the impact analysis, the impact level of this feature is medium. There is no need for us to enable this feature. We will require minor configuration for using this feature. So is it a quick win? No. Coming on to the next feature, which is extend next generation supplier self-service registration. This is part of the supplier module. So we know that Oracle has introduced its new tool, which is VB Studio. So if we want to make any additional changes like deploying the DFFs or hiding any particular segment, then we might want to then the VB Studio is a go-to tool where which will provide us with all the functionalities. So in the 24A upgrade, uh, using the VB rules, which is the functionality available within the Visual Builder Studio, we were able to create DFFs and edit the segments on the company details page. But Oracle has extended this functionality for contacts and address page as well with its 24B upgrade. So now you can use business rules which are available under VB Studio, and deploy your DFFs or hide or extend any hide or create any additional segments that might be useful for you on the contacts and on the address page. The impact level of this feature is medium. There is no need for us to enable this feature. A minor configuration is required for using this feature. So is it a quick win? No. Moving on to the next feature, which is create negotiation cover page with generative AI. Now we are moving towards the sourcing module. So the next few slides will cover the features or the functionalities or the new functionalities which Oracle has introduced in under the sourcing module. So the first one here is create negotiation cover page with generative AI. So you can use, let me zoom in a bit. So we have the task which is manage negotiation style. So if you're selecting the AI assist checkbox, then using this, you might be able to create the cover page for your negotiation. You will have to define some additional criterias, and based on those criterias, Oracle will provide you a guided cover page which you can use with your negotiation. Currently, this functionality is only available for the users in the North America region, but Oracle will, in its upcoming upgrades, Oracle will extend this functionality to other regions as well. So coming on to the impact analysis, the impact level for this feature is medium. We do need to enable this feature to use it. A minor configuration is required for using this feature. So is it a quick win? No. The next feature that we have here is view previous round scores during award. So the suppliers are awarded based on the response provided. For example, in a two-stage RFQ, technical round is used for evaluating the suppliers, and then a commercial round to provide a best and final offer. So hence, approvers should have access to previous scores before finalizing an award or determining the price for the next round. Coming on to the business benefit, so this feature will help the buyer in making in making an informed award decision in deciding the new round pricing or deciding the award to a particular supplier. So the impact level of this feature is low. We do need to enable this feature. No configuration is required for using this feature. So is it a quick win? No. Moving on to the next feature, which is refresh auction in real time for suppliers. So for suppliers who are submitting their bids, the monitor supplier page, it it did not get refreshed. But suppose if the supplier want to revise their bids, or if they are submitting their revised bits, then automatically after each hour, this particular page, which is monitor negotiation, it will get revised and it will give you the latest details. So the impact level of this feature is low. There is no need for us to enable this feature. No configuration is required for using this feature. Is it a quick win? No. What is the perceived business benefit for using this feature? It will just provide you an improved opportunity to win the supplier bids and see their rank in real time. Then the next feature that we have here is allow zero response price in large negotiation. So suppose large negotiations are the negotiation which we create and are higher in volume compared to the normal negotiation lines. So for example, with this 24 GB upgrade, if the supplier want to enter the zero price against a particular negotiation line, they can do so. And this feature will be this functionality will be particularly useful in the scenarios where the supplier is providing some warranty services which are free of cost. So buyer can take advantage of their free offerings, and which will help them in improving their savings. The impact level of this feature is low. We don't have to enable this feature. This is available by default. No configuration is required for using this feature. So is it a quick win? No. Moving on to the next feature, which is add requisition to large negotiation. So previously, when we were creating large negotiation, the requisition lines were not getting added. But with this 24B upgrade, you can now add and now process the requisition lines to your large negotiation. So the impact level of this feature is low. There is no need for us to enable this feature. We will require a minor configuration for using this feature. So is it a quick win? No. The next feature that we have here is export search results to Excel and supplier portal. So supplier can now export their negotiation search results and response data to Microsoft Excel sheet using the supplier portal. The impact level of this feature is low. We don't have to enable this feature. No configuration is required for using this feature. So is it a quick win? No. The next feature that we have here is export online messages to Excel. So online message is a functionality which is currently available within the sourcing module, where a buyer and suppliers can exchange messages. So if they want to download the messages to have an overview of it, then you can download the messaging. You can download those messages with the new upgrade. The impact level of this feature is low. There is no need for us to enable this feature. No configuration is required for using this feature. So is it a quick win? Yeah, no. Moving on to the next feature, which is default team member scores from previous round. Now, this feature will be particularly useful for the buyers, as they will be able to see the scores from the previous round. So with this update, scores from previous round will get defaulted on if the requirements are not changed, and if composite scoring is enabled, then composite score can be used for calculating the requirement scores from the previous round and pricing from the current round. So again, it will help you in deciding the correct scores. So let me zoom in a bit and give you an overview. So as you can see, these are the scores which are available from the previous round. So the buyer can always go check the scoring of the suppliers from the previous round, and based on the responses that they have submitted in the current round, they can assign the necessary weight and design the overall weighted score. The impact level of this feature is low. There is no need for us to enable this feature. No configuration is required for using this feature. Is it a quick win? No. Moving on to the next feature, send automatic questionnaire reminder for initiatives. Again, this feature is part of the supplier qualification bundle that Oracle provides. So you can always send the automatic reminders in case the supplier fails to respond to a particular initiative. So the first two reminders are sent before the due date, and the final reminder is sent after the due date. The perceived business benefit of this feature is you can set reminders frequently for your questionnaires, and this will also help you in increasing your response rate for a particular supplier against a particular supplier. Coming on to the impact analysis, the impact level of this feature is low. There is no need for us to enable this feature. A minor configuration is required for using this feature. So is it a quick win? No. So as you can see, the first reminder is set as 10, the second reminder 2 days, and the past due reminder is set as has been set as 5. and you can always monitor the initiative from over here and determine, and that, like, the supplier can go and check their first reminder date, the second reminder, and the past due reminder date. Moving on to the next feature, which is support additional scoring precision. So there might be certain cases when where the two suppliers or more than two suppliers might have the same score, uh, and and as per the previous functionality, uh, the values. So for example, if the value if the value is returned in decimal points, then the entire value gets rounded up. So for example, if a particular supplier has a score of 24.5, then it would get converted to 25. But with this upgrade, it will give you a better precision on scoring, as it will give you the overall scores up to 2 decimal points. So for example, if a particular supplier has a total weighted score of 24.5 and the other supplier has a score of 24.6, then it will not get rounded up, and the same score can be used, which will help the buyers in deciding which suppliers to qualify further for their negotiation activities. So what is the perceived business benefit for this? You can better compare suppliers, especially when they share the same response value or the qualification outcome. Coming on to the impact analysis, the impact level of this feature is low. There is no need for us to enable this feature. No configuration is required for this feature. So is it a quick win? No. Moving on to the next feature, which is create supplier contacts from a contract. Now, this feature is a part of the procurement contracts bundle which Oracle provides. So now within the parties tab, you will have the option to define the supplier contacts from and create additional contacts from the contracts page. This functionality was not available previously, but with the 24B upgrade, you will be able to define additional contacts. You will be able to define a particular contact from the contracts page itself. So if I zoom in, as you can see under the parties tab, I have the option of creating the contract. So if I'm creating a contact against a particular supplier, I will always have the option of creating an additional contact from the contracts page. Coming on to the impact analysis, the impact level of this feature is low. There is no need for us to enable this feature. No configuration is required for this feature. So is it a quick win? No. Moving on to the next feature, which is apply expiry and reminder settings and contract envelopes from DocuSign account. So currently, if you're using a DocuSign account and if you're waiting for if you're waiting for a particular signature from the user, then you can set the reminders from your DocuSign account. So if I zoom in, you could see that we have reminder and expiration settings. You can set the automatic reminders days before sending the first reminder, days between reminders. You can also set the expiration settings, like days before the request expires, days to warn signers before expirations. So this functionality is available if you have the DocuSign account. So if you click on the if you click on the check apply account level reminders and expiration from manage electronic signature page, you will be able to use this functionality. So what is the business benefit of using this? You can always enable the reminders to initiate DocuSign on the contracts from your DocuSign account. The impact level of this feature is low. There is no need for us to enable this feature. A minor configuration is required for using this feature. So is it a quick win? No. So those were all the features which were introduced by Oracle as part of their 24B upgrades for procurement, advanced procurement, and their new responsive UI application. So I will now request Sohil to take this session forward. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, Shriji, for wonderful insights. Let's quickly move towards the Q&A part now. Pooja, could you please check if you have any questions that you want to take up?
No, we don't have any questions in the chat box.
Okay, thank you, Pooja. You will receive an email by next week wherein the presentation and session recording would be available to you at a single click. So please do look out for an email in your inbox. And these are the upcoming sessions which you can see on the screen. Please register or ask your colleague to register to be part of the webinars. Before you leave us, we would like to have a quick feedback on today's session. Launching the poll now. Okay, closing the poll now. Thank you once again for your valuable time. Bye, everyone.